Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Ski. Um, just wanted to go over something with you this week. Calling it a math minute until I figure out a more creative term. But it's something that we want to focus on intervention this week, so that way we are prepared for it when it comes up on a math test, when it comes up on a PSSA, or when it comes up in real life. And one of these things that we need to start to focus on is how to reduce an F word, or how to use our F words properly. By F words, of course, I mean fractions. Okay. And one of the things that we need to figure out how to do and need to work on is how to put fractions in their simplest forms. Okay, simplifying F words. Now, there's certain things you want to look out for. So, a couple of helpful hints here. Anytime a fraction is an even number, so anytime the numerator is an even number and the denominator is an even number, it can be divided by 2. Anytime a fraction ends with a 5 or a 0, it can be divisible by 5. And anytime it ends in a 0, it can be divisible by 10. So something like 30 over 40. That can be divisible, but both of those can be divisible by 10. You divide the 30 by 10, divide the 40 by 10, you get 3 over 4. That's how we reduce fractions. And we want to reduce fractions because we want to make sure that when we have to do operations with our fractions, that they're in their smallest form possible. Okay. So, for example, using that example that we had at the beginning, which was 16 and 64. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to put down all of my factors of 16. So I know 1 and 16, multiply those together, I get 16. There's 8 and 8. I only need to write the factor down once. There is also, um, sorry, not 8 and 8, it's 8 and 2, and 4 and 4. This one, 64, which was what I was looking at when I said that incorrectly, has 8 and 8. It also has 4 and 16. It has 2 and 32. Now, looking at those two lists of numbers of all of the factors, I can now figure out which one of those numbers is the greatest common factor. The common factor there is a number that's going to be on both sides of the chart, a number that I can multiply both to get to 16 and 64. And the largest of those numbers is our greatest common factor, which in this case would be 16. Okay, so now what I can do is I can now simplify that fraction, now knowing that if I just divide the top part by 16 and the bottom part by 16, sorry for the bad handwriting there, but you don't know how hard it is to write on these things. Okay, 16 divided by 1 is, or 16 divided by 16 is 1, and 64 divided by 16, as we showed over here, is 4. So I now know that 1664 I can simplify to 1/4, which would be a lot easier to do any kind of multiplying or adding or dividing by. That's why we want to simplify these fractions. Okay. Now let's do one together so that way you can see how the whole thing works on one piece of paper. So I have 18 and 90 are the two numbers that I am given. So I'm just going to go through and start writing down my factors. I know I have 1 and 18. I know I have 6 and 3. I know I have 9 and 2. I think those are all the numbers I can use to get to 18. Then I also have 90. So I know I have 1 and 90. Okay. I also am going to have 9 and 10. I know I am also going to have, do I have 6? Yes, I have 6 times, I think it's 6 and 15. Um, then I'm also, I think, yep, I can also, because I have it ended in a 0, I know it's a multiple of 10. I know it's also a multiple of 5 as well. So I know I have 5, and if I multiply 5 out and 5 times 100 is 20, or 5 times 20 is 100. I know if I take 2 of those off, 5 times 18 will give me 90. Oops, 18. I want the factor there, not the multiple. And if I go through this list and I take a look at all of those numbers there, I realize, whoa, hold on, I got something in common here. Okay, my F words have something in common. They have the number 18. Okay, so what all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my 18 and I'm going to divide it by 18. Wow, really bad handwriting. Sorry, guys. And another, divide this by 18. Well, 18 divided by 18 is, of course, 1. And 90 divided by 18, I figured that out. It is 5. So Using greatest common factors, I can make sure to take all of my larger fractions and I can simplify them down to something that I can actually use in a mathematics problem. Because we all want to make sure we know how to divide something by five because we have $5 bills and nickels in our currency. So we want to make sure we have exact change. That way we're not spending too much money when we don't need to. Hope that helps everybody out. Um, I'll be in touch sometime soon with another one of math skills that we want to start to work on. In the meantime, thanks a lot. Have a good weekend. And please don't cause any problems for your teachers because it's just going to make everybody